Parentheses, possibility, and the poetics of loss in Silverlake life. The view from here. To watch Silverlake life, the view from here, which catalogues the daily lives of Tom Jocelyn and his partner of 22 years, Mark Massey, after their AIDS diagnoses, is to be disoriented. The film insists on the material presence of loss. At one point, as the noises of a garbage truck punctuate the idyll of a glittering silver lake, Tom muses, "This civilization is so strange. I've never felt much a part of it. I think being gay separates you a little. Certainly having AIDS, being a walking dead, if you will, separates one from the everyday world." However, there is nowhere in the film that is as radically disorienting and where absence is so tangible as when the camera lingers on Tom's dead, emaciated body. "Isn't he beautiful?" Mark asks. We then see Tom roughly zipped into a body bag, roughly shoved into the back of a hearse as someone says to someone, "You're gonna want to wash your hands." This moment is wrenching, though we know from the beginning of the film that Tom will die. Peter Friedman talks about completing Silverlake life after Tom's death. As Friedman rifles through his inheritance of over 40 hours of videotape, we see a booklet imprinted with the title Silverlake Life, The View from Here. Near the booklet's beginning, we see something like this. The parentheses as punctuation here are a concrete representation of the film's form. We begin with the knowledge of Tom's death, but are presented with Tom's words, his art, his life, before being confronted with his dying and dead body. In this way, the parentheses of the film suggest Thomas de Quincey's affective response to the knocking at the gate which precedes the murder of Duncan in Macbeth. De Quincey writes, "In order that a new world may step in, this world must for a time disappear, and the re-establishment of the goings-on of the world in which we live first makes us profoundly sensible of the awful parentheses that had suspended them." Yet however awful the temporal delay of Silverlake life, in the parentheses as form of the film, Tom's death nevertheless makes way for Tom's life. In The Art of English Poesy, George Puttenham calls parentheses a figure of tolerable disorder, drawing from Puttenham's definition in Making a Miscellany, Poetry, Print, and the History of the Book in Early Modern England. Megan Hefferman writes that the disorder of parentheses is form in potentia, a legible trace of other possible figurations. I suggest that the parentheses of Silverlake life make the awfulness of Tom's death tolerable insofar as they suggest traces of other possible figurations in the film. Importantly, the parentheses as punctuation at the beginning of the film presents the possibility of an alternative film, one completed by Tom, one free of Tom's death, one where Tom and Mark love and live and are with AIDS. The anachronistic touches of the original film, an image of joyful Mark and Tom placed next to Tom's weakening body, then above his urn, make the lively, life-sustaining possibilities of an alternate film especially tangible. Such an alternate film is also suggested by Silverlake Life's closing minutes. Here, a young Mark and Tom dance to the music of the Shirelles, and Silverlake Life is reoriented toward life. The alternate film suggested by the parentheses in case of health disaster at the beginning of Silverlake Life leaves a legible trace beyond the closing parenthesis of Tom's death. There is a health disaster, but the film continues. Tom and Mark's queerness continues, and Tom and Mark continue. They dance, they kiss, they laugh, they play, they are alive.